Oh, and then here's another one of them perfectly positioned Instagram kitties. It's like they know. Yeah. You're all so friendly. Oh my god. These fucking cats are going to make this whole process go so much slower through here. Look at him. How are you chilling like that? I feel like these cats were all trained to model here. Hey kitty. Oh my god, I didn't think any of you were in here. Oh, you just climbing on up? You just climbing on up? Hey. Good morning from our hotel in Kushadasi. I think I'm saying that somewhat correct. We're about to go grab some breakfast before heading out to see Ephesus and spend the whole day there. So, see you guys at some ruins. We have arrived at Ephesus and we're immediately greeted by two friendly meowing kitties. You got a raspy voice. Do you smoke? Oh, you don't like, hey, are you biting me because I petted this one? We're heading on in and we're going to be spending the next few hours here, probably at least. I know the site's huge, so I have no idea how long we're going to be here. Oh, there's so many pups and kitties here. I love it.
Ephesus is famous for cats.
I know, the poor little guy's missing part of his nose.
This area here behind me, next to this little tiny theater, was the bath. You were not allowed in it, but that's a fine because the walls are pretty ruined in there, other than the big archways, because archways they seem to last forever. So all of Ephesus was built between the two mountain ranges right here, mostly for protection, and they had filtered the water into here, into this cistern back here to store. And there's ancient water pipes going all over to filter the water everywhere. Here's a little glimpse at one. And just like all ancient sites, those kind of scatter all throughout this whole area. There's a little pile of them right over here behind me. I guess in front of me.
That's the state Agora.
We're heading into the Agora now, right in front of this theater. And there is this kitty perched up here so perfectly. You are an Instagram kitty, aren't you? Look at you. Adorable little thing. So we got super lucky today on the day that we're getting here, because there's actually was only one cruise ship docked out at the port outside of our hotel, and tomorrow there's supposed to be 4 large cruise ships docked. So we are extremely lucky because this place is not excessively crowded as one would expect at Ephesus, since this is probably the most visited archaeological site here in Turkey. Coming up here into this little theater. So this was the parliamentary building where they came to pass laws, and it is a pretty darn large one, considering all the ones I have seen previously were probably at least half this size. Oh, and then here's another one of them perfectly positioned Instagram kitties. It's like they know. Yeah. You're all so friendly. I love it.
1, 2, 3.
This is definitely a kitty ruin here. There are cats everywhere and I love it. Oh, you like it, don't you? Yeah, you do. Stretch. Oh my god. These fucking cats are going to make this whole process go so much slower through here. Look at him. How are you chilling like that? I feel like these cats were all trained to model here. Look how fucking adorable this cat is modeling here. It hasn't even moved. Even when you touch it, it's still just in its model pose. You're so fucking cute, kitty. It's gonna take us so much longer than the average person to get through this site with all these freaking adorable cats posing like that. Oh, it's starting to warm up. I'm thinking I gotta remove the coat. Oh, that's better. It was only in the 60s when we left, It's now up into the 70s and nice and comfortable.
Maybe you can predict. This god was the son of Zeus. When he was born, he saw Apollo's god.
This is the Temple of Domitian in the Domitian Square, which is just down through that part of the Agora that we had walked through. Oh, the Fountain of Domitian. It don't look like no fountain no more. There are so many people down there, and this is just one cruise ship with the groups. One from each bus. There are 4 cruise ships going to be here tomorrow. So this place would be absolutely packed on a day like that. We have gotten very lucky with it. I can't wait until the days of augmented reality where when you're walking through here it actually looks like the shops and everything that they were at the time. And every one of these pillars here having statues on them in between the shops. Can't even see carvings anymore to show what each shop was, like you can in Pompeii and some other cities. Look at this logo still. About 2,000 or so years old, and it's still this freaking good a shape. Ours looks like this after one winter with the snowplows. Oh wow, this looks beautiful. I just thought that I had filmed an absolutely perfect pan of that cat walking along that wall there. And then I noticed I was in photo mode and I just clicked one singular photo of it, so that's kind of a shame. But then right after that is this gorgeous little kitty sitting up here
The best
as a statue. Cutie, cutie. He's so cute. This city is just absolutely beautiful. We're heading down into more of the residential area down in the lower part of the city now. They let you up here with how much is roped off. Hey kitty, you're so cute. Hey. You didn't want to stay in place for no photos? Yeah. I'm currently walking through one of the many sections of the bath. And as you can see, it's a pretty freaking large, but I guess it needs to be for a city of 250,000 people. God, it's just incredible how much these arches stay. Oh, look at the kitty prowling. Wow, once it gets up and starts walking, you can see they ain't hurting for food. I love how all the cats here are like legitimate models. Like they all have their own perches and spots. They like pose for you. They'll let you take your photos and videos. I just can't believe how much they act like it is their job to do it. Some of these steps are kind of sketchy though after a few thousand years. So legible when exposed to the elements completely. That's incredible. So, ooh, I'm sliding on some marble.
Güneşim doğdu.
We're
Bak,
heading
mis
into
gibi.
the terrace houses now, which they have nicely protected. So I'm assuming there's some good mosaics or something like that in there.
Rich people
Or
live
paint.
in
That's
here.
usually what they're doing when they're
There
protecting
were
them.
7 different.
It does look like this villa section has a extra fee, but it's probably included in the museum pass if you've got that too. But it was just 85 lei, so like, what does that be? $4 or so? Not bad. And I'm sure worth it.
Yeah.
Wow. That is beautifully intact. I love how they have all the broken pieces over here
Rich
put
people live
together.
in here.
These are from the water for the bath here. These little pipes.
That's beautiful, isn't it? It's amazing.
Look at all the puzzles that they've got over there that they're working on. Oh my god, I love these walls. These are freaking gorgeous. I feel like this should be a branch in archaeology. Like when you're really good at puzzles, this is your job. Is you just have to piece the puzzles together. Is it a branch in
Well, I
archaeology?
mean, actually, it's
Like that's a specific field in archaeology?
it's generally one of the things like you take courses to do.
Yeah.
Because it teaches you how to have patience with grunt work.
I'm bad with like a puzzle that's like has a fixed thing that you can easily distinguish, let alone this crap. God, the colors on the marble are so gorgeous. It's like green, blue, purple. This fountain right here. That is an absolutely beautiful marble.
So he said the mark was put on the wall and an earthquake. It was so it wasn't against the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
and they've got some mosaic floors down under here, keeping you up off of them to preserve them. And doing an okay job at cleaning the glass. I have seen much dirtier walking glass than this. At least you're still able to see the mosaics underneath. This section of villas is so freaking beautiful. I mean, as it should be. If you're wealthy, you should be able to afford something absolutely freaking beautiful. God. I keep touching the poles that are around the edge, and they're giving me like strong static shocks. These villas have some of the most beautiful marble that I think I have ever seen. I mean, just the variety of color is stunning. This is incredible. If you've watched our previous video at the villa of Zugma, this is like that, but cramming like 3 or 4 of those villas into one and upping the preservation a little bit. None of the mosaics that are here seem to be like extravagant pictorial mosaics. They're all more geometric ones, but it is all still beautiful. Even the water pipes right here coming up through the villas. And right after I talk about how there's no pictorial mosaics, it's all geometric, we walk up these stairs and see this. Do not pass up this villa section, even if it costs money or whatever. Absolutely come in here. All of the big tour groups that we're passing through completely skip this place. The only ones that are coming in are like the individual groups or the individual people. Don't skip on this villa area. Like $4 is not that much to spend to come in here. Hey kitty! Oh my god, I didn't think any of you were in here. Oh, you just climbing on up? You just climbing on up? Hey! 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 He climbed right up. Like as soon as I knelt down, he climbed on my lap. You're fucking adorable. I got myself a ruined kitty. They should just hand out kitties at Ephesus when you walk in, and you just get your own kitty to walk around with. I think this guy would be okay with it. You're gonna fall if you keep leaning the way you're leaning. You appreciating it too? You don't get this view very often.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, that was fucking amazing.
All these water pipe pieces just sitting over here on the side as we're walking down into the lower part of Ephesus. It is freaking stunning. Except for maybe that gigantic crane there. And we have arrived at the absolutely beautiful front of the library here in Ephesus. They actually have some of the statues still up there. It is so fucking beautiful. I can see reliefs of Medusa up there at the top of them, all the way up there. This was one of the largest libraries of the ancient world. I mean, it didn't hold a candle to the Library of Alexandria, which is no longer in existence. It's absolutely insane how many people are here right now in comparison with like an hour ago when we had arrived here. There are thousands of people here right now, and this is during shoulder season and on a day with only one cruise ship. So, man, if you are coming to Ephesus, be prepared for some major freaking crowds. I can't imagine that we're going to be going to anywhere else on this trip that has crowds like this. And I was just wondering where all the kitties were down here at the library, and I have found them. Look at the cute little kitty. You don't like it, okay. What about you? You're more of an Instagram model kitty. Look at you up there all regal. Hey kitty, you're so cute. We're currently in the public latrine, the public toilet. There's kitties over here, modeling like all the other kitties here. You can see the water channel down there where all the waste and water went. I don't know that it's the public pooping or pooping right next to people that I would have the issue with doing. It's the sponges that they all shared. It's like, yeah, they rinse them off between uses, but I feel like that's the part I would struggle with. In the 15 to 20 minutes since I was over here at the library, the people have already doubled again. I could not imagine coming here during peak season. Oh, how beautiful this would have had to have been with all the pillars still standing, all the statues still here. Those little footprints there were indications leading to the brothels, a little more subtle than the way they did it in Pompeii with having penises carved all over the walls leading you there. My mom's super happy because that was another Atlas Obscura site she could check off her list. And now it's my plug for Atlas Obscura, which does not pay me, but man, if they ever want to sponsor me or have us put together an Atlas tour for them, we would so be game. But Atlas Obscura is an awesome site for obscure sites that people don't generally go to, and a lot of times we kind of plan our trips around those Atlas sites. So if you haven't checked out Atlas Obscura, I highly recommend it if you're looking for places to see maybe in your spare time on a trip, or just plan a whole trip around them, because some of the sites we've seen are pretty freaking incredible. Like the water park in Vietnam, that's like a must-see if you're in, I think it was Da Nang, Vietnam. We got out of the crowds, now it's much more peaceful. And we're heading up into Agora. Overlooking the Agora by the looks of it. That is a massive Agora. That's wrapping all the way around here. Apparently you can go down there. Not sure if we're going to make our way over down into there or not. It's pretty heavily ruined. I mean, most of the pillars are down. There were more pillars standing at Perga. Hey, you're the only cat that has responded to kiss, kiss, kiss. This kitty just plopped right down, cuddling up with my sister. I'd say 90-95% of the cats here are friendly, loving little kitties that want loving and want you to take their photos. But there is that like 5% of asshole cat that will just give you a good old thwap, even if it acts like it wants your loving. But cats will be cats, won't they? That was actually the first cat too that responded to, because normally so far here they've just completely ignored that or any other type of noise I've made to try to get them to come to me. But that one, as soon as I made it, ran right on over. Oh, we are approaching the theater. As soon as you turn this corner right here, you get the first glimpse of the seats up there. And this, I know, is an actively used theater that we aren't going to get to see no shows at. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. Good kitty. Good kitty. You're a neutral one. You don't really want the loving, but you don't attack, so that's nice. Wow. This theater is massive.
It's a lot of seats, right?
It's a lot of seats.
And everybody can hear you.
And they would have had a beautiful view of that crane in ancient times right behind the show. That is a very obtrusive crane right there. It's a shame how actually ruined the backdrop is though. Because that would have had to have been beautiful. But there ain't nothing left from it. My sister and I were debating the number of people who could probably have fit in here. And I was way off over, and she was a little off under. She said 30. Apparently it was about 34, 35,000. I really thought it would be more than that in here. This is such a massive theater. Sorry, not stadium. That's when you have had it with the crowds and you're just like, I'm hiding. Always blow my mind the number of people who just walk by all the kitties and puppies and don't even give them a little head scratch. But then again, I'm sure they don't want every single person touching their little heads. And I already saw some run from children and then let me pet it, so they know how to pick their people. Are you hiding so people don't touch you? Nope, you want the lovin's. You want the lovin's. Oh, yes you do. Yes you do. I'm thinking we're nearing the end of the ancient city of Ephesus. I think we got a little bit more that we're going to be walking by as we head out to our vehicle. The gymnasium where all them gladiators will be practicing and working out before heading up into there to die or kill, one of the two. I mean, I can understand why this is one of the more visited places in Turkey. It is quite a bit easier to get to, and it is very impressive. But I am still sticking with, you gotta head east. You gotta head out to the sites that people aren't going to, which you can see in all my previous videos, even though we are highly non-religious. And this is not a church tour for us. We're heading down to the Church of the Virgin Mary down here. And it seems like most people skip it because most people are just walking up the path. Those are some pretty boring sarcophagi in comparison with a lot of them.
Oh, look at how beautiful
That is a pretty plant. I was just thinking it as we were walking by. They look like little pea pods.
Look at the little beautiful succulents.
Just like all of these ancient sites, only just a tiny, tiny fraction of them have been excavated. And this one in particular, about 15 or so %. It's kind of harder to believe that when you're walking through up there where there's still a lot of buildings, even if they are rubble, there's a lot of buildings and theaters and library and everything. Even though the library and theater have been partially reconstructed, or the library front like pretty much fully reconstructed. But then you walk by areas like this, which just look like barren nothingness. But they would have also been completely built up, probably houses or something like that right here. And a lot of times the houses have large amounts of wood, so not much of them end up surviving. Unless you are rich and you got the villas that we walked through back there. Yeah, we're coming up on the church up here. If I remember my history correctly, I think this city struggled a little more than a lot of them at getting people to convert over to Christianity, as this city was pretty heavy on the cult of Artemis for quite some time. And I can't believe them, because Artemis is my goddess there. Sadly, the temple of Artemis where we will be going is pretty much completely gone, so we'll be heading there here shortly after we check out this church. Does seem like it was a pretty darn large church, though. And you got people over there who have to touch things. Oh, they're reading people's like prayers that they wrote on pieces of paper and shoved into the holes. Yeah, they're just pulling out everybody's little prayers to read them. So those prayers were not for the God's eyes only. Definitely not a fan of the Byzantine brickwork as much as the marble. Yeah, the red brickwork just ain't as nice looking to me as the marble. But that transfers into the modern houses too. I'm not a fan of the red brick. I never have been. Nice big fountain or bird bath. The sweat is starting to drip into my eyes and burn from the salt. But I can still see enough to see this wall, and I actually like this, where it's a mixture of the red bricks and the natural colored bricks. It looks a lot nicer to me than this back there. This was definitely a pretty damn large church. I wonder how high the roofs and ceiling went. I'm sure it would have been absolutely stunning back then, though, because I don't think they would have been converting many people over if they made a big, boring, bland church. My sister pointed out this piece that the church had, I guess you can say, stolen to build their wall. And the whole stealing it thing, that's like kind of whatever, because it's just, that happens in all of these ancient cities everywhere, because the buildings fall, the buildings collapse, and they recycle and reuse the rocks. But the thing that's funny about that one is they also flipped it upside down, which I feel like is kind of like an FU to the old gods, which I don't think is the proper way of doing it when you're trying to convert people over to your religion. But whatever. I don't know. I've never tried. I mean, I've been in some of them porta potties at Bonnaroo, which are pretty dang disgusting, and are pretty much like you might as well be pooping right next to someone.